Let's talk about multitasking. Most people with ADHD, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't know that till later in life. Most people with ADHD or the unique mind. So if you hear me saying unique mind or ADHD, I'm using it interchangeably. Most people with the unique mind that we have, they say they can't, we multitask, right? That means we can't focus. I want to debunk that myth really quick because I'm gonna be honest. I worked as a software supervisor, and one of my followers or friends on here would tell you I was a beast. Period. I was a beast when it came to knocking them tickets out. Like you couldn't tell me anything. Me and this other guy, one of my coworkers, we would like almost compete against each other because I was a complete beast. I mean, I could knock out, I don't know, 40, 50 tickets in less than an hour. Maybe less than that. Maybe I think one time I did 100 or something. Like he know the numbers, but I know maybe 100 in an hour, give or take, maybe more. And for me, I competed with myself, so it was more like a routine. It was like, okay, so when I get it, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and then I already make a template depending on what the question is or the common, I don't know, technical issue is going on. And I will make a template, and usually I would just like go in there, change up a couple things, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, or I will go in and actually type it out. But at the same time, while I was doing these tickets, these support tickets, right, software support, I would I look back like this is insane, but it's not insane. It's actually, it's very innovative. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say it's innovative. But now that I look back, I can knock out all these tickets, but I will also have about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 tabs open. I was a homeschool mom. Well, was I a homeschool mom then? That was right before I was homeschooled. So when my children were in public school, I would still check to make sure like their grades and things like that. I would check my emails. I had a few emails, so I would check a couple of my emails. I would have a tab up for, I was in school at the time. I was in grad school at the time. And I would have a tab up for doing my work. For discussion questions, I would have a tab up for Word. Right? I didn't use Google Docs like that. I used Word. I would have a tab up for research as well, because I'm a researcher. I went to school for whatever, for research as well. But a lot of people, like, I didn't realize back then, they were like, oh, Natalie, you're a beast. Like, you're killing them, you're killing them, you're killing them. But that's just how my mind worked. Like, I would knock out all my work, get all my work done, and then do whatever else I needed to do, or whatever else I wanted to do at that time, like during downtime. I can answer the phone, I could talk to somebody on the phone, and I can type and talk at the same time. And some people don't realize that's a type of multitask. And I realize a lot of people can't do that, because if I'm talking to someone on the phone and they are in a, whether support or technical support role or troubleshooting IT, or it can just be a regular support role, they will be like, okay, so give me just a sec. Like they may write down what I'm saying, and then they're like, okay, I'm going to put you on hold for 3 to 5 minutes. And I'm thinking, why are you going to put me on hold for 3 to 5 minutes? So I can type this up in the notes. What? Why are you typing it up in the notes? But just because I can do it doesn't mean everybody else can do it, because I can listen to what you're saying, and while you're talking, I can type everything up, literally. And I can have 5 to 7, maybe even 8 screens open and know what each and every one of those screens are. Now, I want to debunk multitasking is not being able to focus, because I went on a whole squirrel tangent. Multitasking for our unique minds is not, it is actually a type of focusing. Because if I know exactly what each tab is, I know exactly what I'm doing within each task, and I get within each tab, and 9 times out of 10, I'm finishing those tabs. And then, of course, at the end of the day, or maybe the next day or a week later, I can close those tabs out, whatever's done. But it's called task switching for us. So it's multitasking also, but we're not focusing on all of the tasks at the same time. We may have a lot of things going through our mind at one time, but we're not focusing on the task all at once. What we're doing is task switching. We're working on each task bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. Now, it depends on what it is. If it's usually 9 times out of 10, if it's a type of work task, if it's multiple work tasks, depending on which is the smallest, we may knock all the smallest ones out and then save the biggest for last, versus doing the largest task first that we know is going to take us too much time. So I just wanted to debunk the fact that a lot of people think that people with ADHD, their multitasking superpowers or multitasking abilities means that they cannot focus, because that's not 100% correct. We can focus. We just task switch. So task switching is where you start on one task and you start working on that task, then you switch to another task. So let's say you got 3 things to do on one task, 4 on another one, 8 on the other one. The 8 is going to be saved for last. I don't know about anybody else with a unique mind, but I know that's how I do. Then I'm going to knock the 3 out. But I'm not going to stay on one task. Like, we're going to switch back and forth. Unless, of course, you're in a support role. And even when I was a case investigator, I did the same thing. I would literally have multiple screens up, because if I'm talking to one person, if I'm answering the support email, and if I'm answering the chat, and if I'm emailing something else, I got multiple tasks up. So therefore, I'm finishing that email. Before I send it, I'm going to go back and reread it. I'm going to go back and proofread that email. So that's all I got for today. Multitasking is not being able to, it's not a focusing issue. Let's say that, right? I don't want to use two double negatives. Multitasking is not a focusing issue. It is actually an ability to switch between tasks, where some other people can't do so. All right, check back in for some more ADHD tips.